Mr. Matías Campos Abad from Astralintu Space Technologies, please.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's an absolute honor to be here on stage in the Paris Peace Forum to express our support and pledge our commitment to the Net Zero Space Initiative. Astralintu was born in 2020 in Ecuador with the look to become the go-to space service provider in Latin America. And I was just told backstage that we're the first Latin American company to make the Net Zero Space Initiative, and I hope we're not the first and only. So going back, I will continue to promote so that more Latin American people join this initiative. So Astralintu was born was ambitioned to be the company that inspires people to reach what seems impossible. And we hope that through space, we allow people to imagine a better future. And one of our pillars when we were conceived was always space sustainability and sustainability in general. And one of my supporters and also business partner, she always tell me, don't focus on sustainability yet. It's best to think about the business first, have our business solidify, and then we do sustainability. And I was always say, no, we have to have sustainability in mind since the first day, because otherwise changing momentum, it's harder than just having it since the first day. And with that, one of our first few hired or people joining the team were actually 3 environmental engineers. And with their support, we've done amazing work in promoting what space. And interestingly enough, I usually attend space events, so I really want to more space, let's say. And here to the Paris Peace Forum to thank you for being a bridge so that we space people can talk to other industries. So we spread the message of awareness that this brings. So with my team of environmental engineers that I just want to mention them quick to thank them, Eliana Cadena, Javier Valdivieso, and Camila Flores, we presented a paper at the IAC this year where the research outcome was a value that would allow all the space actors to quantify the carbon emissions they have for a CubeSat launch. So let's say you have a 6U, you find our paper, you multiply by 6, and you have your carbon emissions. And this is interesting because I've seen that there's a disconnect between what people think the space sustainability versus what's sustainability on Earth. And we were talking with the other speakers backstage that there shouldn't be a disconnect, okay? Because sustainability on space is for sustainability on Earth. So when I always would think sustainability on Earth is avoiding carbon emissions, and sustainability in space is to have clean orbits, but then you have to be clean on how to get to space, and you have to be clean on how you clean orbit. So I invite everybody, and I hope this discussion also has some of those inputs on how we can connect this. And then again, I'm very happy to pledge our support and be a very active member of this Net Zero Space Initiative. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the community, I would say. Yesterday, President Fernandez of Argentina and President Petro of Colombia were at the Paris Peace Forum. We gave a special focus, special priority to Latin America this year. So hopefully there will be more connections in the future.
Let's say we're on a trip and then for some reason the GPS stops working. What would you do? You're scared, you're afraid, right? So you can maybe at a personal level like think how that would feel. And now think about all the trade routes. Think about all the commerce, how and the economy gets impacted by not having GPS active. So that's the impact of space. So we don't only need to educate people or spread awareness on what is to have a sustainable orbit, but also what are the benefits of space. So that, for example, in Latin America, we're working tirelessly to do. And of course, through a private industry, it's hard, but we also have a foundation. So through the Sideralis Foundation, we work with children, we work with the government, so that they understand the benefits of space. Once the general public understands the benefits and how space helps their everyday and helps them mitigate the impacts of a lot of things on Earth and be sustainable, that's when the communication about what a sustainable orbit is and why is it important becomes easier. So it's always a matter of connecting what you're taught in school about not emitting greenhouse gases because the Earth needs to be kept for our future generations. Tie that conversation towards we need orbit to be clean so that that's left there for future generations as well. And that's the sustainability that we have to have as a planet. In Latin America, the government perhaps, well, so just a bit of background here, the traditional space, of course, is government-led space, NASA, ESA, and of course in Latin America we didn't have that. But now with new space, with private industry taking the lead, we see companies like SpaceX and the others like Amazon here. And of course, now that's the chance for Latin America to take a step into what space and to bring all those benefits to Earth. So of course there are governments where we have that gap because governments were the first satellite operators, but now we're working with governments that don't know about satellites, don't know about frequency allocation, but you just have to work with them, and we're happy to work with the Ecuadorian government. We actually do in translating what space is to what they already do. So we talk to the Ministry of Communications, and it's things they already do for cellular networks, but we're just bringing in the space perspective, and we together, private industry and government, work together to generate a regulation that helps attract business and bring more benefits of space to our countries. And then, of course, for Latin America in particular, it's helpful to work together. So I'm happy to, here in Paris, it's based the International Astronautical Federation. I'm happy to lead the Latin American committee where we talk about these things. So we don't want to always go in parallel and everybody figuring out things on their own, but we share with each other. This is how it's working in my country. You should try to talk to the minister about this, or maybe frame it this way. And that's how we grow as a connected region. And in that case, through the federation, we also are inclusive. They are inclusive with us. We hosted a global conference on emerging countries in Quito earlier this year in Ecuador. And the whole space community, like CEOs of companies, a lot of heads of agencies were here. And these topics were actually discussed. We were discussing how regulations for radio awareness, for orbits are placed and are inclusive of emerging countries, be it Latin America, Southeast Asia, or Africa. Everybody is welcome in the conversation. And that's what I like about space, and I like about this forum also, that in space and within this forum, it seems like borders are gone. And I like to have that as a message for the audience, that maybe go to space, like project yourself to space so that you can project yourself back in a connected together Earth.
Thank you very much, Jean-François Bureau. My question would go to everyone. You are supporters of the Net Zero Space initiative. How do you see the next steps? What should be done now? The momentum has been reached. The Net Zero Space is a very important initiative. We know that there are other démarches regarding sustainability and the global governance of space. But from your point of view, what should be done now? Thank you.
Thanks. Matías, please.
Thank you. For me, I just want to commend the Net Zero Space for the work that we're doing for the sustainability in orbit. I invite for the future, for next steps to all the members to also think about sustainability on Earth. So maybe we can all work together, we can collaborate to start measuring our carbon impact of our operations, of our launches, of our ground segment operations, try to look for alternatives that maybe are carbon neutral, work together to minimize the impact on Earth of our manufacturing, of our fuels. Always take into account that, because if we want to be sustainable in orbit, we cannot forget about Earth, because we're asking people on Earth to think positively about space, where we are forgetting about Earth, so we have to be in sync with all that. So I think that would be a great way forward, and happy to be in the Net Zero Space Pact for that.